Good morning. What is today? Tuesday? Tuesday, March 1st, something like that. Just let me put on my gloves. It's cold. Chilly, chilly, chilly. Alrighty. Yeah, good morning. Early today. It's 6:30. Alrighty. Whew. Bundle up some more. Alrighty. So today, so anybody new to the series, my name is Corey. The series is walking around the rivers of life. It's not a philosophical endeavor. It's literally walking around the rivers of life church as I wake up every morning. So welcome, and welcome to my morning incoherent ramblings. So, all right. Really, that actually screws up with the exposure, doesn't it? We'll figure out how to do this one day. See a better camera, right? That's what I tell myself. All right. So I got missed yesterday as I record this. I think you guys got a book review on. I think it was 15 things successful people know about time management. Oh yeah. Fun times. Just recorded that along with a couple other book reviews like last night, so I'd have some things ready to go whenever it rains or I get busy at work and I can't. Yeah, you can't even see me. Look at that. So I gotta turn around so you can see me. Walk backwards. Sun's coming up. Should get a little brighter. So yeah. This morning, I guess maybe because I did that productivity book review. Maybe we could talk a little bit more on that topic, because I guess it's the last year or so I have been really looking into the productivity space, and trying to figure out how to be more efficient with my time and everything. And it's always tricky to talk about those topics, because, let's be honest, most of it's just kind of like faffing about and motivational stuff and tricks, and you're talking about maybe stuff stuff that makes things like 1% better or whatever. And fact is, if you're not really very productive, there's usually a pretty decent reason, or there might be a decent reason. And like for me, I'm constantly trying to get more productive, just because it's very difficult for me to put in a 40-hour work week. Maybe that's just me. I do work full time. Don't get me wrong, but I used to work on salary. But I guess we're getting like into too much information detail. But anyway, I have a hard time working a 40-hour work week. I guess it was about back in August or so, July, August. I ended up getting burnt out at work, like completely burnt out. I took about 2 months off, something like that. And I was working, I was on salary and everything. And when I came back hourly, part-time, because I didn't want to be faffing with the boss about how many hours I was working, But obviously that sucks, right? Because now I'm tied to how many hours I put in, how much I get paid directly. There was kind of corollary before, like if you weren't working lots of hours on salary, your output would be too low and the boss would be upset and blah 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 blah. And so I burnt out, and I wasn't putting in a huge number of hours at work. There would be some 50, maybe 60-hour weeks occasionally, but mostly it was me just trying to hit the 40-hour mark every week. And I don't know if it's just me constitutionally, or if it's unrealistic to expect 40 billable hours of work in the profession that I do. There is some indication that I have somewhat unreasonable demands on how many hours I can actually program at work. That's probably, I don't know. Some people seem to say in a programming job, they say, well, you can really only get about 4 hours of real, like, pure programming work, sustainably out of somebody each day. And that seems to be kind of a constant, actually. But then, people filled up their other time, faffing off in the office or whatever, doing documentation or going to meetings and stuff. The thing is, with my job, there isn't a whole lot of documentation or meetings or anything else to fill the time. So either you're programming, most of the time we do have like short meetings and stuff like that, but it's not enough to like be very significant. So it's either I'm actually working on a programming job or whatever, the actual, typing in code or solving a coding challenge or something or other, or I'm not doing really anything that's billable to the client. And so I don't know what to do. That's kind of it seems like most people in the contracting space, what they do is they just charge more per hour, and then they expect less billable hours per week, or they charge normal hours and then they just double their hours, right? The billable hours that they bill. So they work an hour, they bill two. I suppose there's And I just don't know what a good solution is. What's good? I don't know if the expectation is at work, because this is actually my first job, programming, and I've struggled with the meeting the deadlines. You know, it seems like there's always another deadline, and it's a meaningless deadline most of the time. Being asked to commit to getting something done by a certain date, even when we don't really know how long it's going to take to do the thing. It's I'm not just complaining about work. We're getting somewhere with this, guys. So the thing is, all of this stuff is things that have pushed me like into the productivity space, right? And somebody just turned around in the parking lot, I guess. I'm like, oh, I forgot my lunch. Let me go back and get it. Or forgot the little Timmy's textbooks. So the thing that's kind of pushed me into like the productivity space is trying to push past that, because I need to work at work, and I also, for the long term, I need to work on personal projects. I need to, either for professional development or to start building up my own brand, so I'm no longer tied strictly to my employer for all of my income, because that's, a lot of people are comfortable being stressed out by the boss. I am not. I really hate having to work for type A types. I'm not saying my boss is a type A or that I hate my boss. I'm just saying there's a mentality, the highly conscientious people out there that usually end up as managers. They love putting deadlines and metrics and things like that on that. I'm like, that is not how I like to work, and it drives me crazy. I get it. That's just how the world works for a lot of people. But for me, I want to build an alternative that'll work better for me. And to do that, I need to be able to be productive at work, and also put in some time on the side to build up my own company, my own brand. Either that's programming on the side or creating software services, or maybe this YouTube thing, or my blog, or you can see how that kind of fits why we're kind of doing this. And like, I am fully aware that these videos are terrible. I am painfully aware how terrible it is, but I know if I do enough of them with enough frequency, I can very quickly get better. Does that make sense? I know that there's almost nothing in this world that you can't get better if you just do it a lot. And so that's what we're doing here. Is every morning I get up and I talk in front of a camera. It's not a natural inclination for me. It's not a natural inclination for anybody, but I'm not a naturally talkative or social person. I'm not a person who's always got to say what's on my mind. Usually only people in my close social circles really hear me talk a lot. So, but getting out here and doing this thing, and that's another reason why I don't do a whole bunch of edits. One, it's time consuming, and two, I want to get good at being able to do things in one take. But if I get good at doing things in one take and not relying on the video editing, then I can keep, the time investment, the expense for these videos low, especially in the long run. So if I get better at talking, better at holding the camera or whatever, quicker with doing the minimal edits like adding the title screens to the front of the video and getting the whole process, everything efficient, in the long run, it's going to be better. But right now it's terrible. And sorry, my watch is blowing up. Oh, it's just telling me, yeah, I know it's the morning. It's telling me good morning. Weird. Okay. So I guess that's the title, is like how to get good with anything in the productivity space, right? Is I don't really buy too much into the specific tips and tricks that people are selling as solutions. But some of this stuff does work. But you gotta apply it. And you don't know, here's the thing, you don't know from the outset what works and what doesn't, right? Some of it's a bunch of hoopla, like here, take your, fish oil supplements so that you have better focus and blah, 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 blah. That's so far on the margins, probably for most people, that it's not going to make any difference. Even if there is like some sort of statistically significant result that some scientific study showed, is the effect size is so small that it might as well be irrelevant, right? So you got to try all these different things. And a lot of these people, they're always talking. So here's the thing, you buy one productivity book and you read it, and you go, okay, yeah, I got, some things out of that. And then you read the next one, and then maybe half of the book you already read about in the other book, and then you get the third book, and then maybe 80% of it you already read it in the previous two books. So it's like this diminishing returns. And so you end up talking a lot about the same stuff in this space. You talk about habits, time blocking, and some sort of note-taking apparatus. Like you have a way that you quickly get things down on paper and out of your head, and then you process it at a later date into either your schedule or some other more permanent form. And maybe that's worth the video, but my specific one. But I think it's so personal that I don't know. And then there's bullet journaling, or just journaling in general. And then so there's all these little things that you could do that supposedly to make yourself more productive. But like when you're doing it day to day, at least to me, a lot of it feels like I could see that it is going to have an impact, but on a day-to-day level, it feels like it's a lot of busy work that would come naturally if you were a productive person, right? Like you wouldn't have to have somebody, you wouldn't have to do time blocking in your schedule if you were, somebody who was legitimately productive, like a CEO, and you've got a secretary that's setting your schedule and they're telling you where you got to be at these times and stuff like that. Well, Mike, but you're not a CEO, I'm not like a CEO with 1,000 employees or anything like that. It's kind of like is kind of it's kind of a fake productivity. I don't know what you're saying. Now, I say that, and then I do time blocking with Google Calendar, and I like it because I get to see how much of my day is being spent on what. And so whenever I'm doing these habits and things, so I figure out all my habits, and then I end up getting my habits, and then I put them like on the calendar when I'm going to do these different things, when I'm going to practice the guitar, when I'm going to journal, when I'm going to CrossFit. All of these things go onto my schedule, and then once I've got them all laid out in my routine on my schedule, then I can go, okay, we'll try them for a day. Try it for like a couple of weeks or whatever. It's like, I feel a little overwhelmed. What can we cut? And where can we cut it? I'm like, do I just need to move something around, or do I need to reduce? Am I going for 30 minutes and make it 15 minutes instead? So you could tweak it, right? Because it's easier when everything's written out and you can just see it, at least to me. But I don't know. I don't know how actually productive it is, right? Because at its core, and this is where we're coming back to me talking about work. At its core, the fundamental problem is me, right? I am fighting against my nature at work, and I have Crohn's disease, and as much as I try to fight past it, it seems to be a reality that expecting more than 30 hours a week consistently of work out of me is unrealistic. And I don't know if that's Crohn's. I don't know if that's like I said, if that's if 40 hours a week, given that most of that is programming time for me at work, is unrealistic. I just don't know. Because that's the thing with productivity systems, is productivity in general, or getting things done, getting better at things, is you never really know the full scope that other people are going through. So you might be able to see somebody that you feel like is doing something better than you, but you don't know how they got there, if that makes any sense. So, like, I don't know, maybe you're into golf, right? And you got a buddy who's also into golf, but you guys have been playing together for months, but he has gotten like way better than you, and you don't know why, because you see your time together really, or what you talk about together, but maybe you don't see that he's at home practicing his swing with I don't know, one of those little wiffle golf balls or something, or that he is watching like a bajillion YouTube videos on golf or something like that. You don't know, or you don't appreciate that he's a lot healthier than you. Maybe your all Mountain Dew and Cheeto diet is really failing you. and while he's, I don't know, he's eating a whole food diet, using all organic ingredients. God, stupid people with their damn loud trucks around here. It's so unnecessary. So yeah, I don't know what the point of this video is, but like, it's very difficult to have like an objective assessment of your own performance and that's probably that's probably the thing that I have the hardest time with, you know, is coming up with the only thing that I have been able to come is like the number of hours a week that I'm able to put in. But even that is like, I could put on the board that I worked, I don't know, 50 hours this week or whatnot, but that's just a number I made up, right? There's no like objective measure that I could use. And then, even then, the number of hours of work doesn't tell me like how efficiently I use that time, right? So maybe I'm twice effective at, you know, at 20 hours a week, but you know, I don't work just 20 hours. I work 40 hours, and so, you know, I got nothing done in that extra 20 hours. So what was the point, really? You know. I don't know. All right. So I guess that's it for this video. I don't know what the point of the video was, but hopefully you found it interesting. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.